What's going on? Before you go and call that tree company and have them come out and tell you need to get it topped and all the dead wood cut off and remove a couple more trees and run $100 job up to anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500, then check out this video. Now, here's my problem. This right here, this limb, I've cut a limb off beside it. You might be able to see the end of it in some of these clips. A few years ago, well, another branch on that limb's growed out over my sidewalk. You can see it a little bit better from this angle. Well, I had tree climbing equipment and saws, but there's that limb I cut off about 3 years ago. Well, that limb there is hanging in the way of the trash and the recycling bin. And I've got the money, and I could go and buy one of the saws on a pole. They even make electric ones, but I've rigged one up with a Sawzall blade and some vice grips on a pole. Now, I don't advise what I'm doing here on the ladder, have a longer pole. I just didn't have a longer pole, but the Sawzall blade made for wood, it'll tear through a tree limb easy. This is time lapse, but it took me about 10 minutes. I sawed for about 5 minutes. It took me a break. My arms got a little tired. Then I sawed for about 5 more minutes. And as you see, that big limb's out of the way. And I think I'm going to show you the size of the limb here in a minute. It's big around as my arm. It's good, I guess, about 4 inches thick or so. And I done this with a Sawzall blade and some vice grips. Now, a little tip, if you're going to make one, instead of going out and buying your little $30, $50 deal with a saw on the end, is get you a wood Sawzall blade with the larger teeth. It'll really tear through this soft, live wood. And get vice grips that have a straight end, not the angled. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. You see the angle, how it's not in line with the pole, it's curved. That made the cutting a little more difficult. But if you use the straight vice grips and clamp it down tight, you see I got mine all rigged up. I've got a wooden pole and some PVC pipe, but any kind of pole, and I recommend using the hose clamp, stainless hose clamp fittings to get the vice grips onto whatever pole you use. It'll hold them on there real good and tight. And my problem with the tree is it's in my neighbor's yard, so I can't have a company come out and cut that one limb back for $100. They don't have permission to be in that yard, and they've been evacuated out of there for the last 5 years. I don't even know how to get in touch with them. So I made this little thing here, and there's the angled vice grips. You want your blade to be straight, and it'll be a lot easier to cut. I mean, I could have done it in 5 minutes instead of 10 or 15 minutes. But I saved myself at least $100, maybe $1,000, since it wasn't on my property. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and I'll be coming at you with new videos to help you save money. You have a good one. Later.